Hi, Cheryl Mays from Rise and Shine CF, and I am excited to come to you today for Thinking Lean Six Sigma. My company is a training facility, and what we focus on are making better leaders, servant leaders, those new leaders, and we have a great program for them. We also have engaging employees under our Legacy Employee Program, and then we have Thinking Lean Six Sigma. The predictions have been made. They've been going back and forth as to what this new workforce is going to look like at the point that we recover. Are companies going to look at their individuals and say, well, things have been working great remotely, and maybe that's the new paradigm shift, which saves on cost. Maybe employers are looking at their businesses and trying to find out what other lean elements can I implement that will allow me to save on costs without increasing the prices. And so one of the other options that I offer is to understand how to use Lean Six Sigma to benefit your company, your employees, and your customers. The benefit of having a Lean Six Sigma program is that it is based around structure and discipline. And that is one of the best things about having an improvement process because that allows for sustainability. Now, generally, I ask questions to help people think as to whether or not Lean Six Sigma might even be applicable for their business for you at this time. And so the questions are, is there a better way for you to run your business? Is there a better way for you to maximize the value for your customers? If you can answer those questions and start thinking about, well, maybe there are some things that I can do to improve my speed, my quality, my cost. Maybe there are some things that I can do to actually help increase the profit margin without increasing prices on my customers. And then how do I keep my employees? How do I reduce my turnover? Well, the great thing about Lean Six Sigma is that it helps with all of those issues. How to reduce your turnover, how to increase your customer retention, and how to increase your profit margin. And so if you're interested in finding out more about Lean Six Sigma, there are prior videos to this one. You can go to my YouTube page at Cheryl Mays. You can find the Lean Six Sigma Thinking Lean Six Sigma videos. You can also go to my Facebook at riseandshine.success. You can see the past videos there where I talk about what is waste and the entire Lean Sigma concept. So today what I want to talk about is the things that must happen, the things that managers must do in order to have a Lean Six Sigma program. Now, one of the first things that you want to do is you want to pick the right project. Remember, this Lean Six Sigma project is going to be one that is going to be so multifaceted that it takes care of the strategic goal of the company. And it takes care of your cost, your customers, and your employees. And so when you pick a project, and there are going to be a lot of projects that will probably surface from your project team. So you want to pick a project that does that in concert, answers the strategic goal, and helps add value to your customers. Because remember, your customers are looking at your product or service and they are comparing it to everything in the marketplace. And then they're making a decision as to what suits their needs based on quality, speed, and cost. So you want to make sure that the project that you pick is beneficial for both the company and the customer. Because if it does not add value to the customer, then the chances are it's not going to help you in customer retention. The second thing that a leader wants to do, and that's to pick the right people. That is so important. Lean Six Sigma is a people-centric program. Now, what that means is that it allows customer-first thinking. So your customer is like number one. That is the first thing. Every decision that you make is going to be based on adding value to your customer experience. So, in picking the right people, people that volunteer are not often always the right people for a project. So you want to make sure that these people are responsible, they are open to new ideas, they are looking at projects that will allow them to ascend in the company, projects that will allow them to take on leadership roles. And then you might have some individuals that have what I call is another form of waste, which your skills are just being underutilized. So you want to make sure that you pick the right people for the job, because that's important, because these are going to be the ambassadors. These are the individuals that are actually going to disseminate the improvement process, the whys, the how we're going to do it. They're going to answer those questions for the department teams. They're going to answer those questions once people find out that they are on the actual project team. So you want to make sure you have a team that actually has the ability to be able to share the information with others, so that people get buy-in and they understand that one of them are actually sitting at the table helping to make the decisions. The other thing that leaders want to do is follow the method. There's structure and discipline in Lean Six Sigma. Now, Edward Deming, who has done this work in Japan extensively, he has this rule that is the 96-4 rule that says 96% of most of the waste is done in the way the work is being done. So that's the process. That is that process stream. 4% of the work is actually at fault, or perhaps at fault, by the individual. And that could be a lack of training. It could be anything along those lines. So what Lean Six Sigma does is it provides a method, the DMAIC method, and it allows for sustainability. It allows for you to know exactly what's supposed to happen at every level. So therefore, there is none of the I think, I feel. Everything is backed up by data and is supported by the data and facts that were collected. The next piece is to clearly define the roles and responsibilities. So everyone in this project has a responsibility, and they are accountable for specific things. Now, the team within itself is accountable for making sure that they get together, making sure that they follow the guidelines of Lean Six Sigma and coming up with their solutions and coming up with their improvement processes, as well as the sustainability method, the sustainability piece. So everyone has a role that they must play, and the role of others that are in the organization based on their experience and their knowledge. So it is very disciplined. It's not, I thought you were doing this, because everybody has a specific role and they have a deliverable. The other piece is this one, which is just huge. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Oftentimes what happens is a new project is coming into the works, an improvement process. Anything that is new, it just appears. And nobody knows where it came from, why it came here, and what's its purpose. What purpose does it serve? So the ability and the opportunity and the necessity for you as a leader from the highest element, from the highest piece of the tier, you have to be able to communicate with your leaders. They communicate with their managers, their supervisors, their employees. So everyone is speaking the language. Everyone understands the who, what, where, why, when, and how. Everyone understands that. So therefore, everyone every day is operating in a manner that will allow them to fulfill the strategic goals, adding value to the company, to the customer's experience, and increasing the employees' capabilities while lowering the cost. And that's the piece of Lean Six Sigma, is that it is so it's so important when it all works in concert. And all of these things happen, and it happens because of communication. It happens because of your ability to walk down the hall and ask your managers, how's that improvement process going? So that nobody forgets what's going on. Nobody forgets what the goal is. Nobody forgets what the plan is. And they understand that they are held accountable. That's how you get buy-in. That's how you get people that show up, that want to operate in a manner of high performance, that want to operate in a manner that's going to allow the company to succeed their goals, that's going to operate in a manner that will allow them to be seen as a valuable asset to the company. And that's what communication does. It allows you to be heard, to be appreciated, and to be able to know that you're in on making sure that this company is sustainable. That's also how you decrease your employee turnover. And then the last factor is support, education, and training. A lot of times what happens is when you have these programs and you put in place, there is not enough training, there's not enough education, and people are being told, you do this. When you have the ability to bring people together and you provide them with proper training, you have the ability for them to ask questions. You can answer their questions with the data and the facts. Then they understand why they're doing what they're doing. And that's that sustainability mechanism. That's what allows for sustainability. When people get it, when they're trained and says, okay, this is how I am supposed to do this. And they get the educational support that they need. That's the benefits of having a Lean Six Sigma program that is fundamentally beneficial for the organization, from the customers to the employees to the stakeholders. And that's the benefit of such a program. Now, what happens is a lot of times there is projects that are looked at, and they're not really projects that are going to benefit the strategic goal. Because here's the thing, these projects should last no more than 3 to 6 months, because it has to continue to be moving. It has to continue to show results. And you want, financially, you want results. And sometimes you want results quicker. So you want to make sure that you pick the right projects. So, thank you for joining me for Lean Six Sigma. I love having this type of a conversation with business owners because it allows you to look at your process. And especially at a time like this, you have the ability to document what the process is. And then you have the ability to see where your waste factors are, which will allow you to cut costs. And I love process improvements. I love processing reviews. That's one of the elements that Rise and Shine does. And I am so excited to be able to bring these to you every day, where I actually have the ability to share with you some of the techniques that we use at our office, some of the techniques that we use with our clients. If you are looking to have more conversation about processing review, reach out to me via Facebook. You can email me. There's my email. You can Facebook. I'm always on. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Show. We want to show it there. There it is. You can always reach me on Facebook at riseandshine.success. You can also reach me by my website, www.risingandshining.com. The consultation is absolutely free. I would love to talk to you about your company and about an opportunity for you to save on your cost, reduce your employee turnover, and increase your customer retention. Cheryl Mays, Rise and Shine CF. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, don't just wake up in the morning, but rise and shine. Thank you for joining me.